Hey everyone, it's Qik here, and I just wanted to do an unscripted video of me building Path of Math's League starter. Just wanted to show you guys what it looks like from scratch to build a guide, all the steps that I would put into it. I haven't actually looked at the build yet, so hopefully we can do this pretty quick, but I just want to show you if you saw a build from your favorite streamer online, what you would need to do, what steps you might need to take to go from nothing to having a guide that you could follow for League Start. So, first thing you should probably do is actually watch their video or read their guide. So I've actually watched some of the videos, so I've got the basics there, but no matter where you're at, you'll find a path of building, POB, that you can copy. So we'll copy that, and then you can open up Path of Building. I recommend the community fork. Go to Import, Export, Build, import from Pastebin, and now we've got our guide. And we've got hopefully multiple trees down here. Awesome. We'll start small since we're just leveling, and most of them will have notes here, so we'll follow this as well, and this will be where we get most of our information from. All right, so once you've read through all of that, you'll actually need my tool. So I've installed a fresh version of it. So again, you can do that just by going to the releases in GitHub here and download all of it. So zip or tar, whatever you like, and then extract it into your folder. Then we'll run it just by double clicking. You'll need AutoHotkey installed. And the first time you run it, it'll ask if you'd like to download these gems. Since we're just building a guide, I don't need to right now. But if you were playing and you wanted gem images, you'll need to do that. Then we can go into our settings by right-clicking on it and going to settings. And from here we can create new builds. So technically all this does is copy and paste from whatever build you're on to another build. So you could do that yourself by going into builds and copying and pasting. It does do some cleanup, like removing the gems for you. So I recommend doing it from here. But if you've already got something that you're working on, you can copy and paste. The program doesn't care. All right, so yeah, let's copy this default one and we'll create one. D14, this is a, I believe it's a saboteur. And what skill is he using? Blazing Salvo. Cool. All right, and then when you just hit new build, it tells you it's going to copy this and create it based off of that folder. So you just hit yes. Give it a second to actually do that. You can go look in here and watch as it creates it. So there we go. We have our Saboteur Blazing Salvo. From here, we can actually hit Edit Build, and it should bring up the build editor. And I didn't show this, but as soon as we did that, it created this gems file and this all the gem files that are, well, it'll create the gem files as we create the levels. So we don't have to do any of that if we're doing it from here. Okay, before we hop too far into this, I want to point out that since we copied it from the default one, we actually only have these trees in here. There are no longer notes in here. So if you needed notes, all of them have been moved to this notes file. Now some of the builds, again, if you've got custom notes for yourself, you can put them in here. And the way you do that is you just go to the notes that you want. I recommend most people use default, but I've been favoring abbreviated recently. So you can just copy all of those, go to your build, and notice that there aren't any in any of these folders. But if we just paste at the top level, now all of them have it. And now you can make custom notes in here. If you don't have any custom notes to put and you just want the tree and the gems, you don't need to do that. It'll pull it from the notes folder for you. So you only need to do this if you want to override the notes. And I have a feeling we'll be doing a little of that, so that's why I did it. All right, so let's start looking at, oh, actually, one more thing, build info. This is important. So I actually got asked this question today. Hey, what are the gems that are in some of these sockets? What are some of the items I need? Well, if you've got Path of Building, you can grab the Path of Building from the build. All of the builds have the POB that was used to make them. So you can go grab that and look up any more detailed information that you need. So we'll go back here, copy that again, and put the paste bin in. And then I also, if it's got a video, I link the video. Cool. So you can find all of that information in the build info.txt file. Awesome. All right, and then ascendancy.txt has all of the ascendancies as well. We'll go over that once we're done with gems. So let's get to the fun stuff. Adding gems. So the best place to start is generally the notes. So he goes over, and most good guides will go over what gems you get at what level. And so we're going to start at just level 1, level 2, what we should have. Now we need to change our class, because we are going to be a saboteur, which is a shadow. Okay, clear those. And we can look in our inventory, see what we start with. Lesser Poison and Viper Strike, we're not using those. Looks like we're getting Stormblast Mines. And I'm pretty sure that we get that from Enemy at the Gate. Stormblast Mine, all right, we get it for free, love it. Swift Assembly, we don't get till Mercy Mission, so that's fine. The rest of these, it looks like we don't get until level 4. So yeah, so none of those, the rest of those are helpful to us. Since we already have it in our inventory, we can put Lesser Poison on Stormblast Mine, get a little extra damage. I don't think he says that, but there we go. That'll make it slightly better. But I think that's all we start with. From personal experience, I know that that's generally enough. You could get like, what is it, Freezing Pulse? Yeah, if you need another clear. But he doesn't mention that, and so we're not going to do it. Yep. All right, so we're done here. Save. Next level, 4. Now we get some fun stuff. Let that clear for a second. It's taking its sweet time. You'll notice when it's actually updated because the groups will switch, right? So Enemy at the Gate. Actually, I left Enemy at the Gate in for level 4 in case some people picked up gems late. So it has switched. Later on, that would switch. Okay, so now we've got Mercy Mission available to us. So we can get Swift Assembly. Cool. And we get Frostblink from breaking some eggs. Cool. And if you don't know where these come from, you can always just type in the name of the skill in all. And it'll show you that like you buy it from Nessa. So you could just say, all right, I get it from Nessa. But you can look at where they come from. The other thing you can do is go look up the quest rewards. So for people that don't know this, you can search POEDB quest rewards. Go here. And it has all of them. So if you did a Control F for Frost Blink, you'd see that you get it from breaking some eggs. And you can even see who gets it. So fortunately, as a shadow, we get it. All right. But eventually you learn where those come from. All right, what else do we have here? Level 4, Arcane Surge. Right, we also get that from Mercy Mission. But you can only get one reward. Oh, well, actually, you can get it. You can buy it after Mercy Mission. Arcane Surge for Wisdom. Don't level this once you get it. You want it to be as low as possible. Okay, looks like we get Orb of Storms as well. Put that down here. Orb of Storms. Cool. And Frostbomb. That's going to be its own link. buying lots of stuff. Actually, Frostbomb I think we get from breaking some eggs as well. No, it's Overstorms we also get from there. So you get 2 things from breaking some eggs. That you just have to know. So this guy is also breaking some eggs for us. And then we will buy Frostbomb. And this is pretty standard. Most of the builds use this setup. It's just the most kind of elemental damage you can get right now at the beginning of the game. All right, that's all of the level 4s. Oh, we get Onslaught too. Nice. Cool. So you're spending a whole lot of wisdoms here, but that's what we get. Yep, 2 from breaking some eggs. We already got enemy at the gate. This is now in our inventory. I like to switch that just to make sure that it doesn't show up. So you can see the things you need to get. So you'll get Frostblink and Orb of Storms for free, and then you'll need 1, 2, 3 wisdoms by this time, which you should have. So you should be able to fill that out pretty easily. All right, and if you forget to hit save and go to the next one, it'll just ask, yep, I'd like to save. Okay, something to note is level 8 and 10 are mixed. That's just because I didn't feel like having an 8 and a 10, especially since people were very quickly going from level 8 to 10. So often I'd have people hit level 10 before they'd picked up their level 8 gems. So I made them the same thing, and that's also true for 16 and 18. And also, for what it's worth, just for the other people that get there super fast, your level 8 gems will show on your character as soon as you hit level 7. So just something to know. You'll notice how all of those things that we'd purchased before now went into inventory. It will still continue to show their image unless you actually click inventory again or clear it yourself. I like to clear that because I only want to have the images of the new things that I'm buying. You can keep the images of everything if you want to see all of your gem images and you like that, but I kind of use it as a what should I be getting now indicator. Okay, and so at level 8 we get added lightning damage, hopefully from the Caged Brute. Yep, cool, we get that for free. And then Flame Dash replaces Frostblink. So what you can do is you can just replace this, right, with Caged Brute. That's another one that you get 2 of. And replace it like that. Something I've been doing recently is actually writing the skill like that, because my tool doesn't care. This is just text, right? And so now you'd see that you're replacing Frostblink with Flame Dash when you're playing the game. So you're still just picking it up from Tarkley as a reward. And this one you're actually picking up from Nessa, and there's no way I can get my tool to know that easily. So you have to know that. Sorry, guys. But it is for the same quest. And that's it. So we get Flame Dish at 10. Oh, Smoke Mine. Smoke Mine's cool. If you've got the links for it, putting it with Arcane Search is great. But it can't go anywhere. Not a big deal. Cool. So we just needed 1 transmute at level 10. Save, and now we'll go on to Act 2. So we could go to 12. Notice I skipped 12 because he doesn't pick anything up for 12. Yeah, he doesn't pick anything up for 12. So there's no reason for me to go there. I could and just see what they get and pick it up, but it doesn't look like he has it. So to save some time, we'll skip it. All right, at 16, it looks like we're getting... Well, it looks like we're moving added lightning over here, so put that over there and put it in our inventory because we've already got it. Flame Dash, Arcane Surge, still got that, great. And now I can remove kind of my note to myself that I was removing that and put it in my inventory. And Smoke Mine is still there, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it in this setup, but again, it doesn't need to be there. You can put it elsewhere. Looks like we're gonna... Oh, he's keeping Frostbomb and Onslaught. He's got Orb of Storms. He gets Elemental Focus from... I believe that is Sharp and Cruel. Yep, nice. And Herald of Thunder at 16. So we'll do Intruders in Black. Herald of Thunder. Nice. And Skitterbots. We have to buy that because we got Herald of Thunder. So we'll go buy Summon Skitterbots. Cool. And Wave of Conviction. It's nice. They nerfed that recently, but it's still good. Okay, and we have it. Cool, we got our pictures. Perfect. So it's going to cost us 2 alts when we get there. It's pretty cheap. All right. Looks like that's it. Bandits, we're going to help Alira. So that's actually an instance of notes that we can edit. So we'll go to our notes, and that's in Act 2. And we can go to our guide, and it says you have a choice for helping the bandits. And we're helping Alira. So there we go. Save that. All right. And then important, wand craft recipe. Do this before you're level 20. 1 magic wand, 1 orb of alteration, 1 rare topaz ring. You'll want 2 of these. They will carry you all the way to maps. And so that just gives you flat added lightning, which helps Storm Blast. It helps Orb of Storms. And we'll probably drop Frostbomb for some other electric skill too later. Yeah. But added lightning. Very awesome for easy leveling. All right, so let's add that note as well. We'll add that in the guide since it's useful everywhere. And we'll just say craft plus lightning wand. And that is blue wand plus, we'll say magic wand. Magic wand plus alt plus rare topaz ring. Cool. All right. So that's a note for us to do in Act 2. Yep. Okay. And we're moving on to Act 3. Let's do it. Save that. 24. What do we got? Stormblast Mine, Swift Assembly, Added Lightning. Still have all that. Great. Flame Dash, Arcane Surge, Smoke Mine. Got it. Orb of Storms. Elemental Focus. It looks like we move Onslaught over here. And these guys are now in our inventory. Okay, what else we got? Herald of Thunder, Skitterbots, Wave of Conviction, Smoke Mine. Ooh, Conductivity. That's always fun. And it looks like we drop Frostbomb altogether. It's not helpful anymore. Cool. Yeah, so we'll just get Conductivity, then some Lost in Love. So that'll lower their lightning resistance. Great. All right, that's all we get here, really? All right, well, that means I don't need to do 28, since it doesn't look like we pick anything else up in Act 3. So we can skip. Act 4 is actually 34. Is there really nothing else? Wow, that's awesome. All he changed was arc. Okay, cool. That makes this build super simple. I think that's 34. We'll switch it if it's not. Looks like he gets... Oh, he even removes stuff. He just straight up says you don't need Orb of Storms anymore. So he goes arc, and I don't know where we get that, so we'll just put it in all. Looks like you get that from Nessa. So you'll have to go back and grab that if you want it to be leveled. Or you could go back and say, you know, level this in your offhand, right? So I like to do that. And I'll show you how to do that in just a second. Blast Chain Mines. Oh, it looks like we keep Swift Assembly, and we move Ellie Focus over. And Blast Chain Mines. And he puts that down here. He thinks that's the least important. Where is Blast Chain Mines? Also from Nessa. All right, that's really weird that he waits till now to build this, since we have access to all of it way sooner. You don't start getting 4 links until here, so that's probably why he waits. Yeah, I question whether this is good, but we'll see. We'll see. He knows what he's doing, so. And he no longer uses that or that. So there we go. At around level 4, you switch to Arc. And so what you can do here, if you wanted, is I think Arc is actually a level 12 thing, especially if it's a transmute. And again, we could go look here. Siren's Cadences, yep, that's a level 12. So we could go back here where we had, remember we didn't create a level 12, and you can actually see which ones you've created. If you go to gems, notice we don't have a level 12.ini here. Now when you switch to one of these, it builds it off of the current one you're on, so we don't want to go there from 34 if it doesn't exist. If it already exists, it just uses what's there. But if it doesn't exist, it creates a copy of what you've got. So we'll actually go to 8, and then we'll go to 12. So it'll create a copy off of this. And again, we can remove that. Say it's in our inventory, inventory, inventory. All right, and from here we could put a little category over here and say level in offhand, Siren's Cadence. Oh, he doesn't get Arc. So even though it's available here, you don't get it for free. So you got to buy it, which may be why he waits to buy it. Because if you've got to buy it anyway, you might as well let her level it. But it's up to you, right? So you can decide whether you want to do it this way and say, hey, at level 12, buy it and be leveling it the whole time, or if you want to just wait until level 34 and go back, have to backtrack a little and buy it. If you're speed leveling, you'd want to do it here. If you're just playing casually, you probably want to go back and get it. All right, so let's go back to 34. Yeah, we'll save that. But I actually don't want to do that. I'd rather just buy it here. If I got it as a quest reward, I would definitely want to go ahead and pick it up, right? You're already doing the quest. But there was nothing here. I didn't see anything in the quest worth picking up. Blade Vortex, Essence Drain, Fire Trap. Let's combine me. Nope, nothing worth picking up. So technically don't even need to do that. So I would actually, don't save. I am going to actually just remove this. Cool. And skip that. All right, let's go back to his guide. We're done there. Act 6, everything's the same. So this is after you've got Lily, and so that's 42. Everything stays the same except the following: Wave of Conviction plus Conductivity plus Hex Touch support. Oh, nice. So he moves this over here, and from Lily picks up Hex Touch. Maybe. Hex Touch. You can buy it from Lily. If you buy it from Pitaris and Vianya, all right, I don't know how to say her name. P and V from Act 4, it'll be slightly leveled for you. But I normally just buy it from Lily when I get there. And actually, the reason we probably waited till Lily is because we can't buy it from them. So, all right, put that back at all. Everything else is good. Nice. And nothing changes the rest of it. So this is our leveling. This is how we get to maps. These are just notes, so we could add these, like look for BBG, so blue, blue, green, blue, blue, or blue, green wands. We don't need to add that note because we will see those colors show up here. Tarklay, we pick up Stormblast Mines, look for Moose Speed Boots. We can add that note. That's helpful. Most people know that, but in case you don't, look for Move Speed Boots. Save. Okay, after Hill Rake, we get the Quicksilver Flask. So again, I think most people know that, but we can And actually in here I say get the Quicksilver Flask from Mercy Mission. Switch assembly, yep, buy Frostbomb, Onslaught, Arcane Surge. Look for these ones. Again, all of that information is kind of contained in the gems. Orb of Storms and Frostblink, so he lets you know that you get 2 there. That's great. Again, look for movement speed, added lightning damage, buy Smoke Mines, Flame Dash, get the second Quicksilver from the Den. I've got that in my notes. Hail of Thunder, buy Skitterbots. So again, all of the same information that we've got. Yeah, and so after Normal Lab, he goes back and buys Arc and Blast Chain Mines from Nessa. So rather than getting them earlier, that's fine. Silver Flask, Hex Touch, and Diamond Flask. All right, so this is all of the leveling nodes. You will notice, however, that this is a Blazing Salvo build, and we never put Blazing Salvo in anywhere. And that's because he levels to maps entirely using Stormblast Mines and then Arc. And that's fine. But now, once we get to... You could switch over as soon as Lily in Act 6, but he prefers to make it all the way to maps, it looks like, before changing. So, what we will do is now here... we can do maps, which is around 66. 72 is around when you get Awaken Gems. If you needed assuming you've got the money for Awaken Gems, as soon as you hit level 72, you can start, but you can't add them until then. And then 90 is what most people consider end game, but you can still respec there to, when you've got enough points to make it worth it. That's generally for like an Aura bot. But early maps, 66. So let's go to 66 and add the final build. And we will do that by going and looking at skills. So his ring has Orb of Storms in it. So he must be using helmet, gloves, boots, weapon. Why does he not have armor? Because he's using Calm's Heart. Okay, nice. Which means he needed an unset ring to get Orb of Storms. But that's cool. Alright, so let's do that. So we can put in our ring, Orb of Storms. Inventory, because we should have all of that. Or we should have that by now. Helmet, Flame Dash, Arcane Surge, Steel Skin, and Flame Wall. So I'll have to go buy those. That's fine. So helmet, we will get Flame Dash, Arcane Surge, Steel Skin, and Flame Wall. And these are all in our inventory already, so that's great. These will have to go by. All right, gloves. He's got Arcanist Brand, Wave of Conviction, Sniper's Mark, and Blade Blast. So of those, we only have a Wave of Conviction. And the way Arcanist Brand works is it applies these things on a brand. So that's how we'll apply Wave of Conviction, Sniper's Mark, and Blade Blast. Wave of Conviction, Sniper's Mark, and Blade Blast. Alright. And now we'll go to boots. I wonder if he's still going to use Val Righteous Fire since it got nerfed. But for now, we're just going to build it the way it is. Summon Skitterbots we've got already. Val Righteous Fires, drop only. And Herald of Ash we'll have to go get. And it defaults to the general vendor that you'd go get it from. If you go to that vendor and they don't have it, just go buy it from Lily. It means your class doesn't have access to it. But I just put that in like this so that you know where to go get it pre-leveled for you. So if you go buy it from the vendor rather than Lily, it'll have some experience on it. And precision. Cool. And last but not least, I'll move this. And we've got our weapon. This is the fun stuff. Blazing Salvo from Nessa. Inspiration from Syosa. So again, anything that you'd get from Syosa, you can also get from Lily. So I normally switch that. Swift assembly is in our inventory. Controlled destruction is not yet. Trap and mine damage. And then elemental focus is in our inventory. Cool. So there's your final build. Easy. And you could put a note here to yourself that you have, calms. And that's why you don't have body armor. You could also put that in the guide, in the notes. But I want to leave this a little light so that it's got room to fit all of the images. So again, you should have read the POB and should just kind of know that you're looking for calms. Or probably gonna have to trade for it. All right, save. So we're done. We've built all of the images or the gem setup. So now we have to do the tree. So there are two ways to do that. The way that I originally showed is by exporting this. So you can export your tree, copy, go to POE skill tree, paste it down here, load the tree, and you'll see it comes in here. But the cool thing about this is I can now go up here and say screenshot skilled nodes, go to my blazing salvo, go to act 1, click on tree.jpg, hit save. Yes, I want to replace it, and done. And it screenshots it and like frames it for me. So if we go in here and look at our picture, it's pretty nice, right? I didn't have to cut that or anything. It makes it high quality and zooms in. But then you've got to do that copy, paste, move over. So it's up to you if you like that. I do like that, but I found recently that you can also just hit Windows Shift S and it will do a screenshot and you can kind of select the area that you want. Now you've got to actually go into Paint, paste it. Make sure you don't have any white areas. I've seen a lot of builds that have like white on the side that are submitted to me like that. No, you gotta get it all off there. And you can actually, pro tip, just like make it too small and then paste it again and it uses up the right area. And we'll go File, Save, and again we can go in here, Act 1. Now it defaults to PNG. My tool by default looks for tree.jpg. Now you can change it to whatever you want it to be. So if you want it to be PNG, that's great. But I, by default, look for tree.jpg. So we need to call it tree.jpg if you want to use the defaults. And we'll save it. And let's look real quick, just because I'm actually not sure. This is 57 kilobytes when we did it from POE skill tree. And if we save it, yes, and come over, it is now 57 kilobytes. Really? Cool. So they're about the same. So yeah, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Up to you guys, kind of how you do that. Oh, but let's do that for the rest of them. So here we go. We've got Brutus is Act 1. Merveil is technically Act 1 too. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, people should have that in Act 1. So we'll actually just do that for Act 1. Control Shift S. Highlight those. Open Paint. Paste. File. Save. Tree. Save. Yep, replace it. And just for fun, is it bigger now? 29. I thought so. So it is smaller. It must not have copied properly or updated properly. If you copy it, if you just do a screenshot of your POB instead of putting it in skill tree, it is smaller, so it saves space in my repository, so it's great. But the skill tree one is a higher resolution, so pick what you'd like, it to be smaller or higher res. All right, what's next? Val over Soul. That is technically 3, isn't it? No, that's the end of 2. It's the end of Act 2. And a lot of guides these days will actually just say Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. Some of them will just say like 10 points, 20 points, 30 points. And so you've got to kind of figure that out. My general rule of thumb is about 15 points for Act 1 and then 10 more for each act after that. But anything close to that's fine. Paste, save as, and we'll go to Act 2 now and replace that one. Yep. All right. Dominus is Act 3. Windows Shift S. All right, again, make sure you don't have that white there. Great. Save as. Let's go to Act 3. Yes. All right. Almost done, guys. But this is about what it actually looks like to do. Katava's 4. No, 5. But there is no 4, so that's fine. So we'll use this for 4 and 5, and that's just fine. Save as 4. Yep. And we can either save as again here, or you could go into Act 4, copy, Act 5, paste, replace. There you go. Easy. All right, and he does not have Act 6, so we'll use Act 7 as our Act 6 and 7. That's fine. And this is, yeah, definitely faster method to just do Windows Shift S. So I don't mind losing the quality a little, and it makes the repo smaller. But you do have to then, you know, copy and paste into here, whereas the other one you don't. So. Okay. And level 60 is actually like Act 9. So we'll do 9 and 10 here. Well, actually, hold on. We just did Act 6 and 7, right? 7, yeah. So we'll do 8 and 9 for this guy. It's going to be a fun one to see. There we go. Save as Act 8. And save as Act 9. And 70. Oh, it keeps going. All right, we can still fit it all on the screen. So yeah, when you see this picture and you don't know what that gem is, that's why you'd go and, you know, look up the actual POV. And then for Act 11, I generally reserve that for endgame, no matter when it is, even though 11, you're really only going to be level like 66. I normally just put the actual endgame version all the way there, just so that, because that's what's going to be showing throughout maps, so I just put all of it in at that point, unless for whatever reason the build is completely different. I mean, this one does kind of follow that because it switches to Blazing Salvo, but more if like it goes from a health-based build to a low-life build and this changes completely, then I don't put that in, because if there's more than like 10, 15 respecs, I don't put it in, and I expect you to just go look at the POB to get that when you get high enough, because my guide's meant more for leveling. But if they've got something close like this that would carry you to in-game, that's what I like to put in the end. So again, notice I just made it smaller than the picture and then paste it again and it goes to the right size. Save as Act 11. All right, we're going to be under an hour, guys. Replace it. All right, so now we have all of the gems, all of the images. We added some guide notes in there. You could go add some extra custom ones. You know, if you want to say, hey, make sure you go left first after Dweedry, or whatever. If you know something that you want to put in there for yourself, you could go do that now. The only other thing that I would expect you to change if you were going to submit a guide that you created to me would be the ascendancy.txt. And so we'll go in here and we'll add these. Now, hopefully he's got them in here. So he's got his ascendancies. If we go to Brutus, nothing, about here. There we go. He gets his first one there. He gets Pyromaniac first. I spelled that right? Yeah, close enough. All right, what's he get next? Born in the Shadows. And a bunch of the videos will actually have this too. They'll have like a section on ascendancies and they'll just list them so you don't have to do what I'm doing now. All right. It looks like he does not actually list them later. So we're just going to have to guess here. Or go watch his video, see if he talks about it. I would probably get Bomb Specialist to make clearing easier before I got Explosive Expert, since it looks like this is just a more multiplier on damage. So this will be great when you get like T16, but you don't really need it for early maps. So I'm going to do Bomb Specialist and Explosives Expert. But hopefully your guide tells you what to get. Sometimes it's in the notes, but we read all the notes and it wasn't there. So Bomb Specialist and Explosives Expert. All right. And I think that's it. We have all of our acts with guides and notes. We've got all of our trees. We've got all of the gem levels that matter. We've got our ascendancies and our build info. So at this point, you could come to your build and say, send to zip folder, and then send that to me, and I'll add it. Or if you're familiar with Git, you can create a pull request and submit that on GitHub. All right, guys, we did it in less than 45 minutes. Thanks for watching all of this. Hopefully it showed you what it looks like to create a build guide so that you can now create your own using the newest format. So that's the video, and I hope to see you all in maps. Cheers.